Every day, countless founders put everything on the line, chasing the same set of rules, the same formula everyone says works. But the brutal truth? That path too often suffocates. It strangles innovation, kills spirit, and drowns ideas before they even take flight. Think about it. Why is it that the startups grabbing the biggest investments, the loudest headlines, the ones nobody expected, aren't following your blueprint? Why do the most funded startups look nothing like the neat boxes we're told success fits inside? Because real game changers don't play by the rules everyone else worships. They break them, burn them, remake the map. It's painful to realize that the system designed to support founders rarely makes room for the best ones. The ones with ideas so raw and wild, so far from the norm, that they can't be squeezed neatly into investor decks or trending buzzwords. The world says, follow protocol, scale carefully, stick with trends. But these messages are chains, not wings. They promise safety, but they deliver slow death. The startups that dare to defy conventions, the ones that rewrite what's possible, they tap into something the industry can't or won't see. The power of the outsider, the misfit, the radical thinker. Everyone talks about disruption these days, but very few live it. Disruption isn't a marketing slogan. It's a call to break free from illusions that cage us in the comfortable but dead. That comfortable cage? It's the silent killer of innovation. When investors fund safe bets, they're backing the same old, the mediocre dressed up like gold. But the startups that shatter records, that explode into markets and reimagine entire industries, they are the rebels, the ones who reject the safe path like it's a noose. You know what's scarier? They don't just reject old rules. They craft new ones, from the ground up. Rules that question everything we take for granted about how startups should be built. They aren't afraid to appear weird. They don't care if their vision seems unrealistic. They know this. To create what no one else ever has, you must leave behind what everyone else believes possible. You must unlearn the lie that success wears a uniform, that it speaks the same language as the crowd. Feeling stuck chasing validation from investors who favor polished pitches over raw potential. That frustration is the sign that something deeper is missing. It isn't just about money. It's about connection, real connection to those who see your fire, who match it. The system was never built for the exceptional. It was built to process the average, to replicate the familiar. That's why the most funded startups are those that aren't just unconventional. They are those that find each other and unite. They create invisible networks of trust and energy outside the glare of traditional structures. They blend brilliance with complementary strengths, forming powerful alliances that investors can't ignore, because together, they're unstoppable. Here's what's rarely said out loud. The recipe for the most funded success stories isn't about fitting in. It's about standing so far apart from the crowd that you redefine what the crowd even is. It's about becoming so sovereign in your vision and willpower that doubt, rejection, and skepticism become fuel, not barriers. It's about picking your battles, your allies, and your moments with ruthless precision. And it's about playing the long game in a world obsessed with instant wins. Want to break through? Start by refusing to be anyone's next big thing, but your own. Don't settle for the investor who wants to mold you into something generic and safe. Find the ones who burn with you, not the comfortable, but the relentless. Build networks not of followers, but of co-creators who carry fire, who challenge you, who push you beyond every limit. It's not about scaling noise or volume. It's about amplifying your essence, your unique, raw power that no system can replicate, because it was forged by your uncompromising vision. The world you're fighting against offers comfort while stealing your spark. It promises equality and freedom, but rewards conformity and mediocrity. People get processed, ideas sanitized. You're told to play nice, fit in, to avoid looking too different. But the startups that grab real funding, that shape real futures, don't ask permission. They build from the edges, where the rules fade and true innovation rises. They're led by individuals willing to be misunderstood, isolated, even controversial, because they know what others don't. Greatness doesn't come from consensus. It comes from courage, from anger, from obsession with something only they see. Imagine a world where your radical ideas aren't silenced or optimized into bland sameness. A world where the rare, the brilliant, the misunderstood don't struggle alone, but unite in fierce, sharp alliances that break markets open. That's not a fantasy. It's a revolution already underway, quietly gathering strength, waiting for those ready to say no more to the old way. To the founders tired of playing the same game and losing. To the investors sore from wasted bets and missing the real magic. To the leaders yearning for meaning beyond money. This moment is a call to arms. To stop seeking approval from systems that don't deserve your brilliance. To decide that your vision is worth more than the closest safe pitch. To refuse comfort and complacency. To seize what's truly yours. The startups that become the most funded, the ones who create new industries and leap continents, are fueled by unshakable sovereignty, relentless questioning, and a refusal to be ordinary. They know patience is a weapon, that eternity rewards those who build foundations others see as impossible. If anything here stings, if it makes the chest tighten or the heart pound, that's good. That's the spark. That's the fire those startups built their empires from. Not from ease or fitting the mold, but from breaking free, challenging every assumption, and making the unseen seen. It isn't about chasing the system. It's about becoming so vital, so rare, that the system has no choice but to follow. Your power isn't in doing what's expected. It's in what you dare to become. Beyond roles, beyond limits, beyond the noise. The next wave won't be led by those who blend in, but by those who burn brighter, who create new spaces for the exceptional to thrive. Where isolation becomes connection, and misalignment transforms into unstoppable force. Where individuality forges unity that reshapes futures like never before. So stop asking why the most funded startups are the least conventional. Instead, ask yourself, what old story are you willing to burn so your real one can ignite? How will you find the few who match your fire, who sharpen your brilliance and wield it with you? How will you become the force no system can predict or control? Here is the truth the world tries to hide. Freedom in the startup game isn't handed to you. You take it. You fight for it. You craft it from the pieces others discard or fear. The most funded startups aren't accidents or lucky breaks. They are revolutions born in the fierce soil of refusal, to settle, to conform, to wait. They're born in those who rage against normalcy and build what's next with blood, sweat, and fire. This is the moment to stop waiting for permission and start becoming unstoppable. Because the system can't nurture you. But those who burn, who build, who leap without looking, they don't need it. They need only each other. The few who dare to rise beyond convention, to become the future, they find their path in the wildest places, the sharpest alliances, the deepest fires. This isn't a game for comfort. It's not a race to blend in. It's a war to become something no one else has seen. Rare, brutal, brilliant, and funded. Not because the crowd says so, but because your light can't be ignored. If that scares you, good. If it excites you, better. Because those who become the most funded are those whose hunger for freedom, for transformation, runs hotter than fear. It's time to stop trying to be understood by a world built for ordinary. It's time to become the exception the world forgot how to handle. Because the startups that rewrite history, that shape what's next, are never conventional. They're wildfires. They're storms. They're magnetic centers pulling the rare and powerful into a force no system can break. This is where the future starts. Beyond comfort, beyond rules, beyond what you've been told. This is where the rare find each other, amplify their fire, and build from the edges to remake the center. Are you ready to burn? To become what no one sees coming? Because that's what the world's most funded, most unconventional startups already do.